The expansion battery is the single worst value purchase in this entire hobby, and it's the one the manufacturers push hardest. Here's the math that should stop you. That add-on battery often costs nearly as much as a second complete power station while doing far less. Before you click add to cart on more capacity, let me show you exactly when it's a smart buy and when you're just handing them extra money. First, what an expansion battery even is, because the name oversells it. It's a dumb battery in a box. No outlets, no USB ports, no screen, no solar input of its own. It does exactly one thing: plug into your main power station and add watt hours. Think of it not as a second power station, but as a bigger fuel tank for the one you already own. That's the whole product, which means every dollar you spend on it buys only raw storage, none of the useful hardware. Now the number that matters. Take the popular EcoFlow Delta 2. Its official expansion battery adds about 1000 watt hours for around $370. That works out to roughly 36 cents per watt hour. Sounds reasonable in a vacuum, but watch what happens when you compare it to the obvious alternative. A brand new Delta 2, the whole unit, regularly drops to around $400 on sale. For $30 more than the expansion battery, you get the same 1000 watt hours of capacity, plus an entire second inverter, a full set of outlets, USB ports, its own solar input, and its own screen. You'd have two independent machines you can put in two different rooms, use on two different trips, or run two separate jobs at once, versus one bigger tank bolted to a single unit. For nearly the same money, buying a second complete station is often the flatly better deal, and the manufacturer would very much prefer you didn't notice that. So why does the expansion battery exist at all? And when does it genuinely win? Because there are real cases. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Let me give you the honest three. 1. Single system simplicity. The expansion battery shows up as one unified battery percentage on your main unit and its app. If you want to glance at one screen and see 60% across your whole system, rather than juggling two separate units at two different charge levels, that seamless management has real value, especially for a permanent home backup setup you don't want to babysit. Number 2. Sustained high output over long stretches. A second standalone unit gives you more total capacity, but each unit still has its own output ceiling, and you can't always gang their power together cleanly for one big load. If you need to run a single heavy load continuously for many hours, a serious off-grid or whole home-ish scenario, an expandable platform feeding one strong inverter can carry it in a way two small separate units can't. Number 3. Space and weight, sometimes. One base unit plus a battery module can be a tidier footprint than two full stations with duplicate hardware. Minor, but real for van builds and tight installs. Notice what those three cases have in common though. They're all the heavier end of usage. Permanent installs, big sustained loads, built-out systems. And that brings me to the real reason most people shouldn't buy one. Most people never needed the extra capacity in the first place. This is the trap. Someone buys a 1000 watt hour unit, gets a little outage anxiety, and immediately eyes the expansion battery to feel safer. But if you did the actual sizing math, added up your real loads, your real hours, a huge share of households are fully covered by that single unit for the essentials. The expansion battery isn't solving a real shortfall, it's solving a feeling. And buy more to feel safe is the most expensive way to shop there is. So here's the honest decision tree. If you're eyeing an expansion battery, first ask whether you actually run out of power in real use, or whether you just worry you might. If you've never drained the unit you own, you don't need more capacity. You need to stop letting the anxiety upsell you. If you do need more, then ask, do I want one seamless system I manage from a single screen for permanent home backup? Then the expansion battery earns its price. But if you just want more total power to have around, for camping, trips, flexibility, a backup to your backup, A second complete unit at the same money is almost always the smarter buy, because you get all that duplicate hardware for basically free. And the best move of all is the one that costs nothing extra. Size it right the first time. Buy the capacity you actually need at the start, and the whole expansion question disappears. The people happiest with their setup aren't the ones who kept bolting on batteries. They're the ones who did the math once, bought the right unit, and never thought about it again.